Did you know that stelliums in a specific house of your natal chart not only tell you about your main areas of focus in life, but also where you are called to find a healthy balance? For example, if you have a first house stellium, a major focus for you in this life is self-development and living as your authentic self, with whatever that may bring. But this stellium is opposite the seventh house of one-on-one relationships and partnership. This means that you can tend to focus a little bit too much on yourself. And you're not wrong for focusing much of your attention here. This is vital to your development. You've chosen to focus on yourself in this life for a reason. But you also aren't supposed to neglect your important relationships with other people in your life. If you don't find a healthy balance between this axis, you can tend to come across as a little self-centered. So you need to consciously consider the wants and needs of your friends in your one-on-one relationships and your partnership with your significant other. Otherwise, you run the risk of seeming completely and totally self-absorbed. Another example is someone with a 12th house stellium, which is obviously opposite the 6th house. You can have a tendency to get so lost in your dream world, fantasy, and isolation, and perhaps creative endeavors that you can neglect to pay attention to the everyday mundane tasks that need to be accomplished, as represented by the 6th house. Maybe you get fixated on interpreting dreams, getting lost in a good show, learning about different meditative practices, that you need to consciously remind yourself to fold the laundry, to eat well-rounded meals, and get some exercise in. Because after all, we can't have one without the other. You can't focus on these practices unless you actually eat, if you exercise, if you do your laundry. And lastly, someone with a 10th house stellium is going to be hyper-focused on their career, public image, vocation, social status. This is what makes them feel fulfilled and alive. And they can be doing really, really wonderful work out in the world with this stellium. However, they can have a tendency to put quality family time, as represented by the 4th house, on the back burner. With the career focus, they may tend to put having a family, creating a family on the back burner. They may start a family later on in life. They may frequently leave their apartment or house a mess so that they can go out into the world and do the important work that they feel they are truly called to be doing. They can forget to call their mom. They can forget to call their dad. They can forget to check up on their siblings just because they are so focused in the realm of career in this part of the axis rather than the family part of the axis. Something for these folks to consider is that your work out in the world will feel even more fulfilling and meaningful if you have people to come home to, people to celebrate with, people to spend the money that you earn from your career on, people to help you bask in the glow of your accomplishments. So whatever that happens to look like for you, whether that is a wife or a husband, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, siblings, it could even be your pets, for all it matters. You're going to find that your work out in the world feels all the more meaningful. So yes, you have chosen to have stelliums in this life to really buckle down and focus on a specific area of life. Perhaps because it's something that you didn't develop in previous lifetimes. Whatever the reason may be, this is a major focus for you. But the challenge with a stellium is to find balance between that focus and the other part of the axis. This way, you will find that life feels much more balanced and meaningful if you're able to find a balance between the house of your stellium and its complementary opposite.